Okay, there's a video on how to make a login for a website using PHP and storing the information in a MySQL database. We're starting off by running Mamp and running it so that it's a local server on our local machine. So this is not actually online, this is a local server, but the concept will work exactly the same for an online server if you have an ISP and a website. So we open up we go into Mamp, we hit open the web page, and Mamp will start like this. We can go down here to this button here and click on PHP MyAdmin. When we click on PHP MyAdmin, you'll get up this page. We've done this in class, you guys should know how to do this. We're going to create a new database, so we click new. We're going to call our new database login. I've written it with a capital L, created a new database. Now I've created a set of files that will work with this login. So I'm going to go import, choose a file, and I've already created here a dbcreate.sql, which essentially is a file that will create the database for you. So if we click go, you'll see it's created a new table down here. The new table has a primary key, which is the ID, a username, a password, and the date that it was created on. If you want to create this table yourself, you can. You can see all the settings there. You guys know how to do that. We've done it in class. But just to make it quicker, I put it into a file so you could do the file. So everything's done there. Then we're going to go into brackets, and we have a quick look in brackets. And there are 5 files. The first file, and I've tried to put the files in order. The first file is called config.php. So essentially this connects you to your database from your website. It's got our server name, username, password, and then the database name. I've put login with a capital L so that I knew that it would work. Then we have a login page. Now the login page is pretty complex. It's got a PHP section at the top, and then it's got essentially a form down the bottom that the user has to log their details in if they've already got an account. So it'll ask them for a username and their password. They hit enter, and then the PHP up the top here goes to the database, sees if it finds the username and password. If it has the username and password already there, it'll log in and jump you to the welcome page. But if it doesn't, there's a button down the bottom here as well. It says register.php. The user can register a new name. So we click on register. Register is similar to all of the forms that we create. It's got PHP at the top and some SQL, an insert into the database through SQL there, and it's got a form down the bottom that you have to fill in. The difference here is that inside some of the actions for the form, there's a little bit of PHP code to confirm that the username and the password hasn't been used before, and that it's enough characters and enough that it's correct, that it's going to work on the database, that it's not going to be too simple that someone can crack it, and this will encrypt it as well. So that'll register. Then what it does, it goes to the database, it selects the ID and the username, make sure they haven't been used before. It then goes and inserts the new username password with the new values that you've entered in, and it jumps back to the login page where you have to log in again. There's 2 more pages here. If you log in successfully, it'll take you to this welcome page, and it just says welcome to the website. You know, you're in, well done. And when you're finished on that, you can click log out, and it'll log you out and take you back to the login page. What you can do, this section of code here, this little section of PHP, you can put that at the start of every single page you want the user to have access to only if they've logged in. So this sort of says, start this page if the user is logged in and they're working. If not, send them back to the login.php page. So for example, I'll show you how it works. We go to my website. I've put it all into a folder called working login 18, and we would start with the login. So here's our login. If I try and enter any details in here, it's not going to work. I haven't registered anything. So I have to go and sign up. I go to the sign up page. I'm going to sign up. I'm going to put in a password. And I hit submit. And no, I don't want to save it. And it takes me back to my login page. I go to my login and I put my details in correctly. And I hit submit, and it'll take me to the welcome page. Hi Nico, welcome to the site. So it all worked. If I sign out, Click sign out and it takes me back to the login page. Now, if I put in the wrong username, it'll come up saying no account found for that name. So it's tested the database to make sure that the user's there, and it's not. Okay, so it doesn't work. If I go into the sign up and I say I want to create that Nico2, and I put in a really short password, Tom, and I put in Tom again, and I hit submit, it'll come up and say the password must have at least 6 characters, right? And the password does not match, right? So it's coming up telling me that it's sort of error checking to make sure that the what's being entered is correct. And then that's it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I can go back to my login and use my old one. And essentially, once you have that login, you can put this little bit of code on the top of any page you like, and it'll always say, that'll say the name of the person who's logged in, and then they can always log out again and go back to the logout window. If I look at my Mamp and I go and look at my table, you'll see I have the primary key is created on the first user, username's Nico, and the password's been encrypted so that even the person who manages the database can't see what your private password is, and they can see when it was created. So that's it, simple login. We've used this in class several times. I just thought I'd better do a video for those people who might have missed it or needed to go back over it and just check up on how it worked.